Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexandra Tejeda and you can find me on Instagram under Team Toronto as well. But today we will actually be apartment hunting here in Toronto. So let's jump right into it. But before we go, don't forget to subscribe to me down below. So we're heading to our first apartment right now. We're gonna see 3 different apartments today, all different price points, around $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to see exactly what you can get in downtown Toronto. So let's do it. Okay guys, so we are at the first property, and yes, I'm sitting on the floor because why not? But we are starting with our first apartment, which is around $2,000, and this one is actually listed for $2,150. And we are in the Church Yonge corridor, so the more east you go, you tend to get a little bit off your price point. The more west tends to be a little bit more expensive. So like I said, this one is listed for $2,150, and it is a studio. I know you're thinking that's really expensive. It's just right now in the current market we're in. I'm filming this at the time of September 2022, so it is a crazy rental market right now, and studios are going for around $2,000. But this one is fairly big. It's around 500 square feet. I know you're thinking that's not very big, but when I recommend studios to my clients, I always recommend that they get a balcony so they don't feel too cooped up. And the balcony adds another 113 square feet, so it is quite big, or at least feels quite big because of the balcony and the lighting. This one doesn't have any parking, which is pretty typical for this price point, but it does have a locker, which I'm actually kind of surprised about. And if that's something you don't need, you can also rent it out, which can help with your rental payments. But typically at this price point, lockers won't be included, parking won't be included, and utilities won't be included. But I lived in a studio for a long time too, so this is a great option if you're a young professional trying to save some money or a student trying to save some money as well. Now let's head to the next apartment. All right guys, we are en route to apartment number 2. So that one's listed for $3,000. This is the price point that we're looking at right now. And this one is actually in my hood, so I know it very, very well. So let's go check it out. Okay guys, we're in my hood and this is the second listing we're seeing today. This one is listed for $3,000 and that seems pretty typical for where it's located and what it is. This is a 2-bedroom and 1 bath. You clearly have a primary bedroom and like a smaller office or kids bedroom and then a full bath. The best part of this I think is really the double balconies. It's really rare to have a wraparound balcony, especially in Toronto. $3,000 is pretty typical as well for like a 2-bedroom. Right now in September 2022, as I'm filming this video, 1-bedrooms would probably be around $25,000, $26,000 because studios are going for so high at $2,000. But I really like the layout of this one. It seems quite spacious and it's around 600 to 700 square feet. This one also comes with locker and parking, and I love that for people who are renting because if you don't use those things, you can rent them out and that can help with your overall monthly rent price. You are in Liberty Village right now, so it does feel a little bit separate from the city, but you're actually right in the city, and it tends to attract more young professionals or families. There's tons of cute bars, restaurants, everything is really centrally located here. And I like living in it because it doesn't feel like you're right in the heart of downtown and everything's really noisy. It feels like you're a little bit outside of downtown. And it's really great for commuting because you're right by Lakeshore and the QEW. You're not midtown, so you can get right on the QEW and go if you need to get out of the city. In this location, you're more closer to streetcars than you are actual subway stations. So you might need to take a streetcar in order to get to a subway station, but you're right by the Exhibition GO train, so you can really travel anywhere in and around the GTA. So it is a really central and great location, but kind of does feel like you're out of the city a little bit. And there you have it guys, let's go ahead to the most expensive one we're gonna see today. All right guys, just arriving at the last one now, the one you've been waiting to see. This one is listed for $4,300, so let's go and see what it looks like. another house, another sitting on the floor situation. All right, so we saw 3 different price points today. We saw 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000. So this one is actually listed for 4,300. And this one gives you a pretty good idea of what to expect because it is a townhouse. So typically for townhouses, it is gonna be more expensive and you can expect a price range in this range. This one has 3 beds, 3 baths, but really it's 2 plus a den and 2 full bathrooms plus a 2-piece bathroom. The square footage on this is between 1,200 and 1,400. I actually like this townhouse because I've seen a lot of townhouses and typically they're 3 or 4 floors. And so the space is quite vertical and you end up walking up a lot of stairs. So this one is nice because it's really 2 floors. We are currently in Mimico. So I'm a little bit biased. I love this area. You are just outside of the city, but you don't feel outside of the city. And there's a ton of development happening here right now. You're right by Humber Bay Bridge, which is where a lot of families, runners, bikers will go. A lot of active people. You're also extremely close to the Mimico GO train and you're right by the QEW. So I love this location because I drive, so it's easy to get in and out of the city. You're not midtown where you have to drive like half an hour to an hour in the city just to get on the QEW. This is really great because you can go into the city, into midtown, or you can leave the city and get right on the QEW. I also like this location because you're not just close to the TTC. So basically our transit that will bring us all over the downtown core, you're also close to the GO train and that will bring you to the GTA and throughout. So even if you don't drive, it's a really great location. This would be really great for families or couples because obviously there's a lot more space, but it's also a really family-friendly neighborhood and you do feel like you're a little bit outside of the city. It's not as crazy, not as crammed, and you have a little bit more space. And that marks the end of our apartment tour. So thank you guys so much for watching and for being a part of my apartment tour. I hope it gave you a better idea of what to expect in this city at different price points. And if you have any questions, you can always chat to me on Zoom, and I have all my contact information down below as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.